drummer, and I just got my brand new SJC kit. So later on I'll go on to tell you more about me, my background in drumming, who I've played with, who I've toured with, what I've done recordings with, studio work with. But right now I'm going to open up my new kit because I've been waiting for this for a while. Get these drums out, and then we'll be talking a little bit more, and I still got to figure out what setup I'm even going to use for this Saturday for my show, so I have no idea yet. So let me get started on this and take some of these drums out of their boxes. Okay, so let's go over the sizes I got. And I'll tell you why I got the sizes I got, especially with these toms being cut so short, but I wanted them like this because the way I play, the way my setup is, the way I usually do things, I like having usually the toms lay right on top of the bass drum as much as possible for my setup. And this is the first time I ever had a 26-inch kick, and as you can see on both bass drums I got the extended hoops. Now, I still don't know what type of configuration, what type of setup I'm going to use for this Saturday for my show or for the following Saturday. I'm probably going to be messing around with my setup for a while. I don't foresee myself really using both bass drums at the same time. I usually use a double kick pedal when I play. But what I am going to tell you is the size of these toms, so you know. So we got a 6x10, 7x12, and then of course we got the two floor toms. I got a 12x14 and a 14x16. And this is a 26-inch kick, 18 long, and this is a 20x20 kick, and as I said, on both of the kick drums I have the extended hoops on the outer. So that's where I'm at. Oh, I also do have an SJC snare drum, but I had this for a couple months now, and I like it. This is a 13-inch snare drum. I'm really into 13-inch snare drums. I really don't like 14-inch that much. I don't like the way they fit in my setup and fit when I'm playing. I just think they're a little too big. But they built this one, 13-inch 7. This is a brass with black nickel, and I love it, and it sounds phenomenal. So I'm going to go and mess around because I got a lot of work to do on these drums. And I also want to thank for being out at the NAMM convention in Anaheim. Back in January, I met Jeff Kelly for the Kelly Shoe System. So I got two of these I need to install on both of these bass drums yet tonight. So we will be talking soon, and I will be showing you my setup when it's pretty much more complete and I've had time to mess around whether I'm going to use a rack system with this or whether I'm just going to use stands. I got to see what I got and how to put this together. So thank you. We will be talking soon. Thank you, SJC. I am looking forward to this. Here you go, birth certificate. Thanks again, guys. Hey, we'll be talking. All right, so I have a setup going on here that I've been using on and off. I'm not incorporating both kick drums into my setup. I just have the other kick drum here set up for, this might be something future with a slave pedal and having in my setup. We'll see what happens with that, but mainly I've been using this with 2 racks and 2 floors, but I also been going out using the 26-inch kick with just 1 rack and 2 floors and doing like a bottom setup at times as well. Depending on what mood I'm in, what I feel like taking that day, what the gig consists of, who I'm playing with, everything else. And as you can see with this rack system that I have here, I took some time putting this together to make sure that everything is fitting right, and with the couple shows that I used already for it, it feels really good. I don't really have any cymbals set up right now because I want to discuss more of this, the placement and the rack system and everything else I'm using. And for most shows I do, I love using my Roland SPD sampling pad for whatever it may be for it, but I have millions of different samples on here. Okay, so if we want to start over here, you can see I'm actually using for a stool, what is the Carmichael throne? I just got this. Yeah, the Carmichael throne. I used it a couple times already. Back feels a little better playing. Sometimes it can't get much worse when you're playing long sessions, long hours. Loving the stool so far, so that's pretty good. And of course I talked about the sampling pad. I'm using, most of my hardware I'm using all the time is DW, which I do like a lot, with the pedals as well. And we have the 2 racks here, and the floor toms, and you can see the rack system I'm using now. Also in both bass drums, I do have the Kelly shoe system in there, which they're working out great. In the 20-inch kick, right now I'm using a D6 in there. And in the 26-inch, I am using a AKG D112 that's set up for in there, with both of the mic mounts. And Kelly shoe system is working out great. No issues, no problems. I'm really liking it so far. That's kind of where we're at. Also a big fan of Aquarian heads. I'm loving the Super 2 clears on the toms. I got the classic clears on the bottom. I got this Aquarian coated triple threat on the snare, which sounds really nice. And I have, of course, the Aquarian Super Kick 2 on both of the batter sides of the kick drums. And on the outer side, I just have the regular black ebony Aquarian head as well. Let's talk about how the drums sound. Of course, these are not maple, these are birch shells. And I'm not going to sit here and whack the hell out of them, because it's just going to distort on the camera anyway, but toms sound nice. Snare sounds great. Cymbal-wise, I do have a lot of assorted cymbals right now, but the cymbals I'm really enjoying lately using are the TRX. And David Levine I've been speaking with for years now. So I have 2 TRX crashes and a splash. Hi-hats right now I'm using Zildjian. I got a Zildjian ride, and I love China cymbals, but I'm very particular with my China. So I have a 20-inch A Chinese Sabian that I love using right now that just sounds great. I never heard a China sound better. So I'm really stuck on that, but I will be getting some more cymbals from TRX to be trying out very soon. And I just went back to playing with 2 rack toms, and it's been years since I've been doing that, but I'm trying to get back into playing with 2 rack toms now, and I'm liking it. It's a nice change from playing with just 1 rack tom up for 15 plus years doing that, to go back to playing with 2 rack toms here and there. And of course, some nights play with only 1 rack tom, depending on the gig. It's really nice to be able to mix that up. Different size kick drums, swap them out here and there. When I do use a 26-inch kick, I do not use a rack system. I just use 1 rack tom and sometimes 2 floors, like the bottom setup.